Genesis 50:20. But as for you, you meant it evil against me, but God meant it for good, in order to bring it about as it is this day, to save many people alive. Now this is going back to old Joseph. Now his brothers, I don't know if you remember the story of what happened to Joseph, but his own brothers were jealous of him and threw him in a pit, sold him into slavery. But God had a plan. God had a plan for old Joseph. He got him out of the pit. And he will get you out of the pit too, folks. And he had a purpose intended for Joseph. Matter of fact, they had evil intended for him. They hated him. They wanted him to die. But God used that circumstance and used him to help the very ones who threw him in the pit, who were jealous of him. They came to him begging for food, and he was able to supply it. Of course, he played some practical jokes on them in between. You know, I mean, just a little zingers there and there. But nevertheless, it's an interesting story. You need to go read it if you've never checked it out. Nevertheless, God used through his circumstance to save many people alive. And God will do the same thing for every single one of us in this room who are going through struggle. He will use you to get somebody else saved for the kingdom. Amen? Through your pain, through your struggle, through your torment, through your torture, God will use that, turn it around for your good somehow and for the good of others. What a blessing. That I'm not just arbitrarily suffering over here. That I'm not just dealing with wave after wave of attack for no reason. But God's got a plan. And although those people had evil intended for you, God intends good for you. Amen? God has a way of doing things. And although it seems bleak while you're going through it, while the struggle is very real, and your pain is very real, it's understandable to be upset and feel attacked. God will turn it around, and you got to think that way though. You got to plant that seed of hope in your heart that I know that God's going to fix all this. I don't know how. I don't know when. I don't know all the details, but I know Him. I know the one who has been faithful throughout all of time. He's been faithful through all these stories that have been written for our edification, for our building up. These stories were written for you, folks. These things these people had to go through were written for you to draw comfort from through when you have to go through hard stuff. Amen. They had to go through something hard to be able to give you comfort now. Amen. And you may have to go through something hard now to give comfort to somebody else who's going through it. Amen. Through this time right now, whatever season you're in, if it's a time of struggle and pain, God will use it. God will use you and your testimony, and we will overcome the devil. Amen? By the word of our testimony and the power of His blood. Amen? The blood is sacrificed. Jesus' name. Man, are you thankful for that this morning?